I'll be showing you how to back up a virtual machine in Azure. So let's say you've been asked to back up a specific virtual machine in Azure. So what you want to do is the following. First of all, we want to go to our recovery service vault. So you just need to type service vault here. For example, you can see we have the recovery service vault. And then if you can actually create a new one, or we can actually use the one we've created in the past. So let me just use this old one we created in the past. So when you create a recovery service vault, you can see we have a lot of options. First of all, you want to go to backup. So by going to backup, you can see we have, you see, where is your workload running? You can see it says it's going to be Azure. So yours may be in Azure Stack Hub or Azure Stack HCI. But I want to choose Azure. And what do you want to back up? We can back up virtual machine, Azure file shares, SQL server in Azure VM, and also SAP HANA in Azure VM. So I'm going to go for the virtual machine, then click backup. So by clicking backup, you can see we have two options. We have the enhanced or the standard. We can actually go for the standard. You can see probably the enhanced cost will cost you more, but let me just select standard. And here we can decide to actually create a new policy, or we can use our daily backup policy. So if I decide to create a new policy, you can see all the policies we have. So we can decide to actually adjust and go for daily or even weekly backup, monthly backup, or yearly backup. So I'm just going to actually select the daily backup we already created in the past. And here you can see what is going to be backup. The backup, that's the retention of daily backup points for weekly, for monthly, and for yearly, which I've configured in the past. So just click add. By clicking add, you can see all the different virtual machine we can actually select. So let's say I want to back up this virtual machine. I'm going to click OK. So it's going to validate the machine and see if this machine can be backed up. And yes, of course, the machine can be backed up. Then we now need to click enable backup. So by clicking enable backup, so it's going to actually create, you can see it's trying to actually deploy it first before you can actually back it up. So let's just wait for this to be deployed, and then we can now go and see how we can actually back up the server or the virtual machine immediately. So now you can see your deployment is complete. We can actually go to resources, and then under resources we can actually go to our backup items, and there you can see we have two virtual machines that has been backed up. We can actually select, you can see the DC001, which we can click details, and now we can decide to actually back it up now, because it has not been backed up, but we can now click backup now, which will actually start the backup process, and that will take some time. Sometimes depends on how big or what information is in that backup. It can actually take some time to back it up. So this is how you create a backup of your virtual machine.